Life really has a way of humbling you. It slows you down, strips away your comfort, and forces you to sit with things you've tried to outrun. Because of that, sometimes you need to disappear for a while in order to find yourself again. To disconnect from the noise, the expectations, the versions of you that you think should exist. So you step back, not because you've given up, but because you're finally choosing yourself. Healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like solitude. Honestly, I'd argue that it requires a degree of isolation in order for you to really reflect and be truthful with yourself, without any external pressures or influences. A lot of the time, we ignore the warning signs, where the universe is literally yelling at us to take a step back and really breathe. And while we think that ignoring them is a good remedy, we find out the hard way why short-term fixes never work. Well, at least I did. I kind of went MIA from not only YouTube, but really every aspect of my life for the last few months. One day, the weight of everything I was carrying and refusing to address really started suffocating me. It was like the more I tried to fake it, the more I found myself losing sight of who I was and what it means to be me. I didn't want to accept it. I ignored it for as long as I could. But in the end, I knew I couldn't lie to myself anymore. I owed it to myself to finally accept it. So I low-key went off the grid, with the people who have known the real me my whole life, to learn how to be more present in life, away from home, away from being caught up in everything I am, and especially everything I'm not. Traveling really forced me to disconnect from not only my social media addiction, but also the extreme pressure I've put on myself since the beginning of the year of what I think my life should look like at this point in time, at 23. This comes from constantly comparing myself to people my age, which is something I know so many of us struggle with. But can you blame us? When social media exposes us to so many different lives and curated highlight reels, showcasing all of our deepest dreams and desires being lived out by others so effortlessly. Almost as if it's laughing in your face. I know that I have felt so bad about myself, so dejected over the silliest things because of comparison. And honestly, it's crazy how much we lose sight of. How we forget that we live such privileged lives that others would consider as their dream. We take so much for granted when we get caught up in our heads, and you don't realize it until you really take the time to shift your perspective by changing your environment and going back to the basics in order to remind yourself who you really are when you lose sight of that. So that when you come back, it's as someone you actually recognize.
Hey guys, long time no talk. But finally, I'm back home and my laptop has been not working properly. So let's go get my laptop fixed so that I can finally start uploading again. Missed you. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get copyrighted, but guys, we're at 15. Oh my gosh, the lighting's so bad, but okay guys, I just submitted what is wrong to Jake, and I told him that a Tesla driver cut me off today and it pissed me off so bad, and all Teslas deserve to be eradicated, and that is my truth. So anybody in the Vancouver crowd, if you hear that, it was me. But yeah, I'm gonna get copyrighted. So
it's crazy how putting myself first and letting myself disappear for a while is what reminded me of what I'm truly passionate about and helped me be on the path that I know best aligns with me, like this channel, which is something I know is worth pouring into, and spending time with those who regulate my nervous system. That what my life looks like at 23 is exactly how it is meant to. The only timeline you should be on is your own. So take a deep breath and remind yourself that every hurdle, obstacle, and hardship that life has thrown at you, you've overcome. So put some respect on your name and live life as the most authentic version of you. And if you're struggling to remember who that is, then take this video as a sign to disappear until you feel like you again. You owe it to yourself. Don't forget that. So remember that some chapters require silence. Some growth demands solitude. Disappearing doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're choosing peace over performing, healing over hurting, and solitude over settling. So take your time. Pull back. Reconnect with the parts of you that feel real. Revisit the things that you used to love to see if those things align with who you are at your core and who you aspire to be. Remind yourself that you're allowed to rewrite your story, that you don't need to ask for permission to do so. Often, the most important growth happens in the quiet, behind closed doors, with no one watching. So disappear if you need to. Take the time you need until you're you again, even if you have changed along the way.